Okay, first thing is pledge of allegiance, or please stand for pledge of allegiance, remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, everyone. Okay, first thing tonight is the oath of office for newly elected officials. Would you like to do that, Sue?
Can we do them all together? Or we could probably do Amy and Jim's together,
Probably, yeah.
because they're both council.
Yeah.
So let's do that together. Let's do that.
All right. Got yours, Amy?
Oh, just looking for it. You got it?
And that's not fair. We had. My memory.
You have to stand up and put your hand like that, right?
Does that help you? Can we
I got one.
repeat it? Or,
I got one somewhere, but.
There you go.
do you have, can they just say it or do I have to repeat it? I'll say it and they can repeat it.
There you go.
Okay.
Just to stand?
I would think so, probably.
State your name.
I,
Hi, Jim
Amy
Dan.
Hammer,
Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota.
and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office
That I will.
I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office
Counselor for the City of Good Thunder in the County of Blue Earth, State of Minnesota, to the best of my judgment and ability.
Counselor for the City of Good Thunder in the County of Blue Earth,
In the
State of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and my ability.
Thank you.
Robert's turn.
Robert? I state your name.
I, Robert Anderson,
Do solemnly swear to or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
do solemnly swear to affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota.
and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of Mayor of the City of Good Thunder in the County of Blue Earth,
And that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of Mayor of the City of Good Thunder in the County of Blue Earth,
State of Minnesota, to the best of my judgment and ability.
in the State of Minnesota to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty. Welcome to new people, Jim, Amy.
Thank you.
Now you get to have 4 years of.
Yeah.
No way out.
Uh-huh. With that being said, agenda, somebody want to make or additions, corrections to the agenda? I see you added something on the back there, Sue, the Excel franchise agreement.
Yes, I did.
That was the only change?
Yes.
All right. With that being said, somebody want to make a motion to approve? Someone second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I opposed, motion carried. Approval of the minutes from last month. There any additions or corrections to those? Look pretty good, I think. Everybody's happy with them. Somebody make a motion to approve them? I'll make a motion. Someone a second?
Second,
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, approval of the bills, checks 18,338 to 18,330 or 377. Electronic transfers from 56782 to 56795. And payroll from 5000144 to 500150. Make a motion to approve those bills.
Paperware.
Yes, that's why I put those, yeah, Scott just pointed out the voided checks that I had in your packets, just to show that I had to redo them because I put the dates. wrong.
2024, I mean.
So I put 2024 on those, so if you, in your packet, I just full disclosure,
All right,
so that's where those are.
somebody approve those bills then?
Approve the bill payments.
Someone to second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I oppose, motion carried. All right, we can open it up to community comment. Don't look like we have much rush on that tonight. We can go down to sheriff's department. We had 54 hours. Welfare check, animal complaint, parking violation, traffic stop, paper service, and direct patrol. Anybody got any comments on the sheriff? Questions or anything? I see they're still around in the morning sometimes up there when they're picking up those little tots. So that's a
Another
good
part,
thing.
that's good. They should be seen, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody with any questions about sheriff? Not, we can move on to fire department. Chief Clamor had 11 calls, 9 medical, 1 law assist, and 1 grass fire. Any questions on that? My goodness, this might be a record breaker, so you might get in on that game, yeah.
Then yes,
I was, you wanted to watch the game, Robert, as fast as you.
No, no, not me, but street update, Race Johnson, he has his resignation in, he gave his 2-week notice there and he was done as of last Friday. Somebody make a motion to accept his resolution or his resignation.
I'll make a motion. Go ahead. Did he make it?
Who made it?
Amy,
Amy did, okay, someone second,
Seconded.
Scott seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We're fortunate enough to have Brian, which is our water sewer guy, who's gonna step in and help out for the time being, is already in the building this today and did some house cleaning. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anything you want to say about what you want to do or get?
Sure. On the water and wastewater side, I collected the quarterly BACT and fluoride samples, and I'll send those in tomorrow. Otherwise for water, wastewater, I don't have too much. Tonight, as far as the street department, I spent the last 2 weeks with Race about half a day. I'd come in about 7 and leave 11 or noon. And he was pretty patient with me. I'm an old timer, so he taught me all the things that I need to do the meter readings and how to do the investigation into whether or not there's an issue with one of the homes that has a meter. We went out and did Scott's house. We drew a 24-hour, hour-by-hour history off of his meter just for practice. Really went through a lot of that with leak detect software. So I'm proficient in that to the point where I can get the job done. He showed me how his technique for plowing and where he puts the piles and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we had two weeks of pretty in-depth training, and I don't want to be the new city guy. I've made that clear, but I do not mind filling in until you guys find somebody. I hope that by filling in, it gives you guys the time and less urgency to get the right person in that spot. And you know, maybe in there too, in your description for your job, you might want to say either has or is willing to get their Class C water and Class D wastewater, because if they don't have it, but they're willing to get it, to get the Class C, you have to operate under a C or higher for 3 years. So, yes.
Like
And
you?
so Class D is pretty easy. That's 1 year. But then that would give me the opportunity to train them, get them licensed before I bow out when I'll be 63 in June. And my intention was to stick with it until 65, 66, maybe 67, we'll see. But I don't necessarily have to keep working. I'm financially set, but I don't mind. I kind of like what I do. so.
Keep him busy.
Yes, it's busy and it's interesting. So the shop is in pretty good shape. The vehicles are in pretty good shape. Race did a nice job of leaving a crumb trail on the whiteboard in the shop with things that are coming up, things that need to be done, stuff like that. So it was a pretty nice handoff. It went pretty smooth, so.
That's nice.
He told me if we had questions or whatever, don't be afraid to call me.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. He was pretty gracious about that, so.
You know,
Mhm. That's really all I have for you guys is, I guess I wanted to ask that if you see something that needs to be done or have suggestions or pointers, I'm open to your ideas, and if I'm plowing snow where it shouldn't be, just let me know. That I'm gonna ask for a little patience because that's all new. You know, I've had a V plow on my truck for years and years, but city streets are a whole different ballgame, so. That and if you do have any other criticisms or suggestions, I'll welcome them as well. Constructively, you know, that's all I ask, so.
No problem. Thank you for filling in.
Yep.
Hopefully I have another mild winter, so the snow
I'm
blowing
hoping.
isn't too overwhelming.
Yeah.
As far as posting them position then, you had some papers in here. How are you doing on that now then?
Well, John wanted me to wait until this meeting so that council could review the position description. I do have a meeting tomorrow with COG to get the ball rolling on it. Because obviously we have to have a motion to post it. Do we have to have a motion to declare the vacancy?
Yep.
Okay.
I suppose somebody want to make a motion then to accept Grace's resignation?
We already did that one.
Oh, we did that one?
Yep.
Okay. And they make a motion then to post this position with that wintertime, summertime, fall time job thing. You know, we could incorporate that when we do interviews, right? Or,
I think part of this was on here because I had sent that over to Victoria and COG as well.
okay,
That list that I had started working on, and some of that is, I think, here.
I think the way they had it, per season,
Mhm.
Sue got that, she went to a meeting and she got it from somebody that has springtime jobs, winter jobs, fall jobs.
Mhm.
And it's pretty nice. It's pretty detailed, you know, it had in there wintertime jobs, fixed picnic tables,
Mhm.
you know?
I was gonna let have Brian review it too.
Yeah, I mean,
See if there's something.
that,
Came up with one today. That's it.
Yeah, we did.
that gives you some directive.
It's on my to-do list.
Yeah,
So I mean, when we start that process or we hire somebody, that list could go along with the individual because I liked what that had on there. So,
In this description, Brian, what did you say we should add? Class,
has or is willing to train towards getting their water wastewater license, class C water, class D wastewater.
class.
That's what you guys need.
D.
If they don't have it, at least if they'd be willing to get it, because you don't want to hire somebody and then they say, oh, no, I'm not
I'm not gonna,
a water guy.
you could tutor them for 3
Yes.
years. You say it takes 3 years.
They have to operate under a C or higher. If you go for a C, SBC or higher for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're pretty strict. Either that or you have to have a Bachelor of Science in environmental, science or so many years as a class D before you can apply for the C. So
Okay.
it's quite a bit to getting your license. It's not something anybody can just go get without some mentoring or some college education.
So that isn't in here at all, right?
No, that's not in here.
Okay, so we'd have to have that in there.
Yep, so that's why I said I'm going over this tomorrow with COG, so we'll add.
How about the class D? Is that hard to get or?
No, that's pretty easy. I mean,
Okay.
it's, yeah,
Do you have to mentor with somebody for
1 year.
1 year? Okay.
That posting is a full-time position?
Yep.
doesn't say nothing about a CDL license either, does it?
Well,
Yeah,
class B
Class C
license
driver's
with their
Their break endorsement,
class B, so that's a
the
CD.
minimum qualifications on the first page.
Okay. Do we have to set some kind of wages?
Wouldn't that help in your trying to find a candidate? They could look at it, see what it all involves, you know, you do a range. It might be what you start at and what could possibly be the top, but you're not gonna obviously start at the top. Even though they think that,
I mean, when you hire somebody and then say you get an individual that wants to stay here and does work towards that 3 years and get both of those licensed, you know, would you have to state that in here that with being fully qualified, that would be X amount of dollars per hour to a bump, you know?
yeah, it should,
How
somehow
would
should be worded.
Something like that, but you don't want to put a dollar amount on it.
Yeah, how would you recognize that with them credentials, that
Yeah,
job will pay more?
Pay adjusted
Last.
accordingly.
Usually they say pay increase compensate, what's that word? Commensurate on achieving your
Licensing.
Yeah.
status.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have to put that wording in there then.
I'll, yeah,
What was the wage offering when, Ray started? What was posted when he,
I think he started out at 25. I think is what John and I said,
what did he end on?
26.79.
Yeah, 26 something, 70, yeah.
Yeah,
I make 21.14, you're getting a deal.
Sweet,
Jim says,
thanks for your sacrifice.
we had somebody got a lot of experience.
Yeah, if they already have the licensing and everything else, obviously, then.
Start them higher, yeah.
Would you have this, you know, for a range just to get them from 26 to 30, depending on experience or, you know? how-
Experience,
how would you word that?
licensing, yeah.
I think, I mean, you usually know when you come into a job, how experienced you are,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you can see that, oh, I don't have all of these, but I'm willing to work towards them. You know, you're not gonna start at the top.
Yeah.
Right.
So probably, you know, self-judgment plus what we.
Do we know what the surrounding communities pay and do?
it's hard because a lot of them have other assistants with them.
Okay.
What do you mean?
So they always have like, there's always two of them or there's
Yeah,
like,
I think Amboy still has two, but
yeah, they just hired two.
Vernon is only one, isn't he?
Yeah, but isn't he the water guy too?
who, where?
Vernon?
Yeah, I think so.
See, a lot of them are the whole thing. It's,
Yeah,
So again, it would go down to experience, how many licenses you hold.
well, I'll mention that 26 to 30 range with Victoria and see what she has to say.
and you know, to work at obtaining these two licenses for long-term employment, the wages, this would be a starting with covering those two licenses, you know, there'd be a bump, you know,
What's the cost to get the license too?
Not much. It's not bad. I mean, typically by the time you've got your hours in and then you sign your affidavit of, you know, you're somebody, I would sign off and say, yes, he's operated under me for 3 years. Then they can go take a class that takes about 4 days. You do a bunch of home study first, then you take the class, and at the end of the weekend, you take the test and then you pass or fail. So typically, most people pass, but
If they're willing to take it,
yeah,
Well, and it would be
The
paid
city-
training,
yeah.
yeah.
just like
training.
mine is.
you know, Tom Freilich always mentioned this, you know, that sometimes small towns like us, this is no different than when we had the police force. They come here, they work, they get some time in, and then they go to Blue Earth County or they go to the city of Mankato, North Mankato. This job here gets to be the same thing. It's a step,
Mhm.
A learning
you
experience.
know, and are we always,
Stepping stone. yeah.
is a small town like ours always gonna have to keep in the back of your mind that, hey, you know, it's gonna be hard to compete against Blue Earth County
You're not gonna
because of probably their health benefits, their,
retire.
whatever they offer, we probably can't offer that. So do we have to keep back of our mind someday that some of this would have to be privatized, so we don't have this constant fight? You know,
It would have to be what?
privatized,
Oh.
like hire somebody to do the mowing, hire somebody to fix the water meters, you know, contract a plumber that, you know, 'cause the city of Good Thunder, we retain you as our plumber. And if we have a broken meter, you have, you know, X amount of time to get out to fix it or whatever. and the snow plowing and all that. I mean, is that something that you have to keep in the back of your mind?
There is a business called People Services that supplies municipal operators and
Or really?
licensed operators to cities to do just what you're talking about. So say you lose your water guy and you need somebody to fill in that role, because you still have to do your monthly DMRs and all your reporting.
Yeah,
People Services will send a guy or assign a person, not a guy, to take that role until you can replace them.
where are they from, Cato or?
I don't know. I think they're,
They're kind of all over because I've heard good and bad about those, just talking to other clerks.
yeah.
That, yeah, it's kind of.
I'll give you an example. Pemberton, when I started out there, they were paying Bolton and Mink to do their wastewater only, not the water. They're paying $1,200 a month. And that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
And what's that called? People Services?
People Services, yeah. There's other ones too. I know UC Labs for a while, they were snake operations too, but I don't know if they do anymore. They're as in trouble finding people as we are, because the list, you can go on the, like the rural water website and see all the jobs that are open for water and wastewater operators, and they're all over,
Really?
so.
You know, again, you might be able to find somebody that takes this job to perform the street duties, but they may not want anything to do that. So would you just hire those kind of people and have them on the payroll and, either that or you're gonna have to work till you're 80.
Yeah.
You're at or find another Brian.
I know it, you know.
I would never stiff you guys and just leave. I would give you plenty, like a year's notice when the time comes.
You know,
You're good for now.
in reality, to find somebody to cover this job is gonna be like police. You know, because they get a little experience. Oh, yeah, I plowed snow for City Good Thunder and I did this and I did that and. Well, Blue Earth County is a good one. They like picking them up,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and we as a city cannot probably pay that wage or the health benefit is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot probably compete with that health benefit.
Mm-hmm. So that's,
But then another thing is, the city of Good Thunder pays our premiums.
Yeah,
So
but the deductible is what?
it's not that much. It's like
Is it
five or something, 25
25 or 5?
or 35, something.
But
like
again,
that.
does it have dental and
Yeah.
eye and?
Yeah.
So we do,
And I was just checking on, that was farther down in our agenda, but I was checking on some other insurance through the public employee.
but not family though.
Correct.
Blue Earth County.
I think a lot of that is family, but
Family.
very few people, very few companies do family anymore.
I know it. But see,
Yeah.
we are competing against that other public entity. And that's where our downfall would be because we, I don't know what, if anybody had a guess, what would it cost to insure a family? Depends on the number of,
Well, it depends on the age and everything else.
that's right, yep. I mean, it would double it, right?
Oh, I'm sure, easy, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, I know of another business that's in town here that does that, you know, their pay isn't that, but their
benefits. are-
health benefits are very good.
Mhm,
You know, and that's how they attract employees.
mhm.
So
Depending on the employee, I mean,
Yep,
you could
there's
keep
maybe
that
some
in
looking
mind.
for benefits or maybe some looking for the higher pay. I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess,
Does Kellen plan on helping yet, part-time?
pardon,
Kellen, Geese?
I believe so. You know, when he isn't hunting or whatever.
lawn mowing, yeah, the
Yeah.
winter time, I don't think he is,
No,
unless he absolutely has to, I think he's kind of.
I know he helped Grace with the decorations.
Yeah,
Stage
yeah,
too.
yeah.
That reminds me, we gotta get them down.
yeah, me and Brian are gonna tackle that one of these
Yep.
days here.
It's gonna be warm this week.
Brian's list.
Thursday, Friday, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
Almost 40.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's gonna be nice. Like Wednesday, I'll take these ones down on City Hall.
Right,
Christmas over, I pulled my timers tonight.
Yeah.
refused.
So anything else then to add to this? You know, they're gonna post it all for us then?
yes,
Yep.
yep.
And they're gonna reach out to where? How far do they reach out?
I haven't talked to her yet. That's all. I'll find out tomorrow. I know, I thought, when they posted my position, John said they do the free press and it goes into Indeed
Yeah,
and I think there's some other place too.
oh, Craigslist, Indeed,
League of Minnesota Cities too, I'm assuming.
yeah.
So,
And that's the only thing that's not in here too, would be any mention of benefit package.
because this is just the job description.
Okay,
Yep.
So, health benefits, the premium is paid?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was deducted.
Nope, the city pays our premiums.
Just the person.
Just us, yeah, just
Single
like for myself, yeah, which to me is huge.
Yeah, it
because,
is.
I mean. But it all goes by age. 2 races is less than half of what mine is,
Oh,
That's right.
you
Yep,
know,
yep.
so.
Say their spouses got good insurance.
You know, if you got an individual that had a couple kids, you know.
Well, then you don't have to be on this one, but I don't
Yes.
know.
You wanted.
That would, I don't know, that
family.
would be something that you
I'll
have to
see.
discuss. if
People
that-
always think, well, if I'm not on insurance, I should.
It would be stiff, you know. which-
Well,
And like Sue said,
there
there's a
is
lot
that
of
too.
companies that don't pay. family.
That'll be.
Yep, and,
Don't be, don't question.
That's a,
this is more and more now,
Come back.
they're saying
I
that
can't.
because your employer gives you yours,
This,
it's paid, your spouse or whatever must take
And what-
their employers,
Yeah, I mean, I know I went a few years without
as
insurance.
long as they offer it. If they don't offer it, then it has rolled back, but it sounds like this one
Um,
doesn't.
Did you look and see what it would be?
this one doesn't have,
Insurance?
well, the city doesn't offer
Any
family
spouse.
coverage.
oh, he has to have a.
No, I don't know if it's ever been brought up or discussed, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know sometimes I've seen even with us down there, we've got 3 different options.
mhm.
Family, employee plus one,
Oh,
or
yeah,
employee only.
yep,
And
Yeah, and a lot of-
rate is
Yep.
adjusted accordingly.
mhm. Yeah, this is just.
We get
employee
people
coverage.
that, well, my wife got a good insurance, so I don't need it, so I should get a little more pay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's.
Yeah, that's all up to the
hard to-
business owner,
yeah.
the company or whatever, but. So we need a motion to post this.
Somebody want to make a motion to post this City of Good Thunder position.
I'll make a motion to post the City of Good Thunder position opening.
Someone to second it.
I'll second it.
Jim seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. So I mean, there'll probably be a few things that we'll want to tweak on there too,
Right.
along the
Yeah,
way.
and once I get more information, we can pull the personnel committee in or something for, or just do. Meeting with that.
And again, we're fortunate that Brian stepped up and we can, you know, we could probably get maybe 4 or 5 people to interview and maybe we wouldn't, we'd have to do it again, but at least it allows us time
Mhm.
to get by and maybe find the right candidate. I mean, it's gonna be tough. I believe it's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
Nice to be somebody that's younger, decides they don't want to go to college,
Yeah.
local,
Yeah.
and be a great place to start, like you said. I mean,
Like Tom said, always said, it's kind of a cute little job.
oh,
You
yeah.
can make it as what you want. I mean, one thing I was gonna be, say is, up there in the city shop, it needs the ceilings and the walls all washed. I don't know how, maybe wait till spring, but we need to brighten it up in there. It's kind of dark to take.
Everything you touch has got a black.
Yep.
film, Black film, even in the office, everywhere, in the
Yeah.
bathroom,
Yep,
it was on black.
Speaking of-
Hmm.
I was gonna say, speaking of that, I went up there last Friday and met with Race and Brian. And we just talked about different things. They walked me through, showed me everything. And it was brought up that some of the tools up there are, 1, very outdated, and 2, actually are unsafe. The cords are frayed and ripped. And he was wondering what we have to do for a procedure to get that kind of stuff replaced.
oh, you're talking like angle grinders and stuff like that? or-
Now the skill saws, the cord's pulling out of it and then it's all taped down here and it sounds like a hurricane.
Oh, yeah, well, you just gotta,
You know, stuff like that. I'll just make a list and.
yeah, make a
I'll-
list.
I'll bring it to council meeting and, say, here's a few things that,
Especially that one with that cord
Yeah, yeah.
and everything else. We gotta get rid of
cut the
that.
cord on that and throw it. 'cause it's-
Somebody's gonna get electrocuted.
But
You are, I have been removing Race off of the charge accounts and I'm putting Brian on.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
So-
temporary.
Just, yeah, as a temporary thing, and then when we fill that position, we'll just,
Oh, and I'm carrying the cell phone too, so if you have anything you need to text her or whatever about them.
How about his insurance? Do we have to give that for 1 month after he's done or?
I talked to M&M and his insurance will end the end of January.
Okay, that's what I figured, yeah.
Yep, unless you wanted to go on, yeah, so his ends the end of January.
Same email for the city shop.
So that's something we'd look at, try to get that brightened up this spring when there's, you know. It'll almost have to be a cleaning service, I think, to go in there, but
Maybe.
you'd have to take everything from the walls, bring it into the center, and I don't know how you're gonna do the ceiling. It's very black. Years ago, we had, prisoners to serve, or what was that called? They painted the pump house.
Oh, sentence to serve?
Yeah.
Sentence to serve. I don't know if they do that anymore or not.
I don't know.
I haven't heard of that for a while though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, you'd have to have scaffolding or something for them to work off of,
Yeah.
do that roof,
Mhm.
that ceiling, so. We'll have to work at, see if we can find somebody that's an indoor job. Maybe some of those people that do that
Yeah,
would like to do that during the winter, you know? Do half of it,
Mm-hmm.
move everything on
yeah.
one side and do the other half. You know, to get it brightened up so that when you have somebody come in there, you got a nice, clean facility to start with.
Yeah, not a depressing place.
Already, anything else under water, sewer, Brian? Yours was next.
no, I don't think so.
You cut way down on the water usage, right? Or it's,
Yeah, and I'm gonna give Race a little praise here, but he was really on top of, doing the weekly water meter readings and then tracing back to see when there was an alert for a water leak and things. And so there was two situations with toilets that were running. One was 5,000 gallons a day. And it had run for like 4 days before we got the property opened up and shut off. And then there was the leak in the by the curb stop in somebody's front yard, and that one was just pouring. It never did come to the surface, so it must have been finding its way either down into the sanitary sewer or something. But those three really, so I sent Robert a couple numbers comparing December last year to December this year. And it was down about 4,000 or 5,000 gallons a day. We're down to like average 33,000 gallons pumping from the well, so.
it used to be 42 or
And,
45
yeah,
a
so
lot.
I've seen it as high as up in the 60,000s,
Yeah.
when things were really loose and whatnot, but the leak detect software really is a miracle, so. In the long term, that's gonna be money well spent.
I was gonna say that, thought, man, we spent $100,000. But with the capabilities, like we've had one already or two froze up.
Yes, and then today I did a meter reading. And then I went back to the shop and I did a report it reads the temperature of the room and the water inside the meter. And there's a fella, his last name is Johnson, and his has been hovering around, right? His room temperature is 28 and his meter's 32.
It's on Willard
So-
Street.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, I know what you're
it's on-
talking
So
about.
his hasn't frozen yet, but I believe Ray sent him a message and said, and expressing, some concern, but they never did contact him back. So-
He needs to heat tape it and,
It might be heat taped because the outside's colder than the
yep,
meter is. It might have some insulation on it, but it's right there borderline on.
it's gonna blow the meter up.
Yeah,
Well,
eventually.
we've already had two, possibly three. We've got two so far that have broke, and then there's one we're not sure yet.
And there's 300 and how much a piece?
305.
305, but now I just got a
305.
bill for the next ones now. They're 310.
Okay.
So going
So
forward,
the house that we investigated last week, I typed a report today with descriptions and photographs of the discoveries upon, and then that I educated the homeowner on what the issues are, and it needs to be insulated, and they need to fix that valve before we can replace the meter, so.
Yep.
That process is going with them. As far as the other one, I reached out again tonight via text, and no comment back so far. So we'll see if I get a reply.
It might freeze there, they foot the bill.
They foot the bill.
yes.
Yep,
Or if like the one that you just wrote the report up, I don't know, that one. It was sitting in water though.
No, it wasn't sitting in, well,
Wasn't, I thought it,
it's a dirt floor basement and all the dirt is mud. And then there's a big pan of water sitting there. And then the cord for their heat tracer on the meter was laying there in the dirt. And then there was another cord for the heat tracer on the pipe after the meter. And that had the GFI tripped out, so it must have got wet at some point too.
Shorted out.
So nothing of the heat trace was working and it's just a cold basement with
Well, they,
no insulation or
the
anything.
people need to be aware that if now with all this technology and these water meters, if it's determined they allow them to freeze, they're gonna be buying the next ones.
Yeah, cause we can go back and look and we can
Yep.
see there on that date it froze. And this one, that I get the picture of it, it popped the top right off. It's popped apart,
And
so.
I mean, at $310 a piece, you know,
well, the one has already been charged. We'll see what happens with it.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they know because that's Race, where Race has been telling them, and then I've called them and told them the same thing, so.
So is their water turned off now if the meters are?
No, because we can't turn them off. I talked to Kennedy about that.
But on the one house, I went and exposed the curb stop. Marked it with a flag, and then I took a little torch and I heated it up so I could get the nut loose. Took it off, never seized it, put it back in there, snug but not super tight, so that if the plumber does come, I can just quick pop that open and shut their water off and you can fix it and I can turn it back on again.
Did you shove the rod down in there? Does,
Mhm.
oh boy, that, you know, some of these are so old
Yeah,
that's the problem. You can go through all that effort, but you can't get it down there and
yeah,
get it shut off.
Hook up.
I'm hoping,
Hopefully, yes.
Well, so you do what you can.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right, ain't that it then, Brian?
yeah. I don't have any-
All right. Unfinished business. We have spring cleanup. It was mentioned there.
So in front of you, some of the extra things that I had laying out there tonight when you came in was the list from Jesse regarding the spring cleanup. And there's still, I mean, he said he would do the curbside, but he said it limits what you can and cannot dump because of the manpower. So they can't do furniture and whatever. So he would rather do the drop site, but I said we wanted to try the curb, so. I don't have a price on that, but I don't know if there was a price or if it's just. You just pay it when you get the bill.
Two of them. So one is drop site, one is curb site. So I'll tell you their differences.
Yeah, cause the curbside, you can't have couches, furniture and things like that.
There's a lot more restrictions on.
Yep.
Well, what would happen if the city offered, have a skid steer on hand that day to load the couches? Or the bigger items?
I wonder if that would take a different truck though. Does it take a different truck? I don't know.
Oh, they used to bring the compactor, you know?
Oh,
and-
okay.
And just keep compacting it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But if you had a curbside one, why couldn't you have a drop box down at the park for
For
big
the bigger
items?
furniture.
That's something the city could do. You could do them both. You could have a drop site.
Did you reach out to LJP today about them dumpsters today? Oh, you forgot?
No, I was fighting with W-2s.
That's okay.
You know,
I won.
well, we do have cameras down there too, you know, because the time when we used to do that up to the city shop, it just got overburdened. There was county stuff coming in.
Mhm.
But we also have cameras up there where you could set the dumpster, position it so the camera could be watched. And you know, maybe let the people pile it up around there, the ones that can't get it, throw it in, and then just during the day, keep putting it in there. Something to help people keep up with the messy yards,
Mhm.
or at least offer. You know, then they can't say, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. Yeah, you can,
Mhm.
you know?
Is there room? There is plenty of room around the shop up there that we could do this?
I think,
To
I
me, that
think-
makes more sense up here. They don't have to travel
right,
as far into, I mean, there's not much down there. It ain't nice, not.
I think you could take and put them right out there in front
Mm.
and, you know, for a week.
No, you're
Well,
not,
it's just a Saturday. I wouldn't put it out there for a week because you will get all kinds of stuff. I mean, like you guys did up here before, did you have it out there like on a Friday or Saturday morning or whatever it
Yeah.
was, and they picked it up on Saturday night or what? I don't know how long they've been.
I was never down there when they did it down there, so I don't know.
But it wouldn't hurt to have it you could have it Friday and Saturday and then
And then just have the guy drive around Saturday
End
to
of
pick up.
business
stuff in
days.
the-
And yeah, when they're
on
done
the
doing their
curbside.
thing there, boom, take them.
well, what will happen if we just Friday afternoon or Friday and Saturday, once a month, we have a roll off up there
Well, you could do that too.
and not do the curbside, you know, but they can bring it up there. It's,
They'll have 12 opportunities to clean up their,
I wouldn't do it in the wintertime.
you wouldn't do it in the
Well,
winter, no.
okay.
I'd do it starting in, well,
say.
probably April.
Even so, 6, 8 times.
April
to
not.
clean
8
up.
times, yep.
There's no reason you can't keep things clean.
To do what, a 20-yarder?
Yeah, you know, a big one.
That's,
Yeah.
that's a little shorter,
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
people can get there.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we could just test it out.
I mean, you could, yeah,
If it's over full,
If
we know
it gets-
we need a bigger one. If
if
it's
it
not
gets-
full, we can shrink it down.
You know,
And he said with the.
the first ones might get overwhelmed,
Yeah,
you know,
Mhm.
in the beginning of the spring. So yeah, you might have to bring a second one out to do it, but
First
at
couple.
least we are giving the opportunity. Yeah, I think it would go over better up there
I do too.
than down
I don't know
there.
if it matters to me. I don't know.
But again, it's still that the individual has to put it in a vehicle.
Well,
Get it up.
and that's part of it. And those that don't have access to a vehicle to put it in,
Okay, how about this?
but we're not gonna say the city will come help you.
How about 1 month we have a dumpster, the next month we have curbside cleanup? How about,
That's fine.
Really?
I do think we need a curbside though,
3 of each.
just because
or
for
something?
Yeah,
the people that.
3 of
aren't
each.
able-
3 of each.
Exactly. I think there's people that aren't able to put their stuff out there and just won't. And I think some of these places, I can't help but think some of these places are more apt to do it if they could just put all their garbage right here.
Or
But like they said, like it says in here though, they're not just gonna, you can't just dump your garbage there. It has to be bagged or boxed or something,
Oh, yes.
you know?
This isn't made for garbage.
This isn't
pickup.
for
This
somebody
is
just to start throwing their stuff in the
Cleanup,
pile.
this is,
Right.
yeah.
do you recall offhand what it cost last year to have that dumpster down there? Was that like a 25 or $2,700 bill?
No, I don't even know if it was that much.
I don't even think it was 1,000.
I was gonna say, wasn't it more like maybe $8 to $1,000?
It didn't go over very good though last
No.
year, did it?
No,
No,
But that one time a year is tough. If you
But
do happen
again-
to be gone, then
maybe do a dumpster curbside,
I think that's
rotate
good.
it.
Yeah.
Because
If you did 3 of each, there's absolutely no reason they can't get their facilities cleaned up.
I would think so.
well, there's enough people in this town that majority of everybody knows everybody, and if they needed help,
I would think
do you
so.
think they would find somebody to reach out and say, hey, you know?
And you know, I guess then if they sat out a couch and it didn't get, I know what had happened there then too.
Well, they just can't set out a couch.
No, not at curbside.
Not at curbside, they'll have to
We
wait.
offer a dumpster next
You'll
month.
have to do it the month prior, yeah,
Yep.
yep.
And I guess you could put that all on the internet. The city of Good Thunder
Well, and we could
starting.
do a flyer, you know, that shove it in their, water bill, now that we're doing envelopes.
Yeah, that would actually be better because then you're not getting internet, other people from outside of town.
Well, because I'm hearing, you know, people that don't have internet, or if people that don't have Facebook, and I'm, you know, and you can't win for losing,
Oh, that's
There you
for
go.
sure.
so,
The water bill comes every month now, so.
Yeah,
yes.
So that'd be a good idea to do it in the water bill.
Yeah.
Do we just make a motion to do it every other month for the summer? And it's gonna cost what it's gonna cost? Or,
Well, see how it goes for the next year. It'll just be kind of
Yeah.
a test to.
'cause if
I
you
mean,
did-
could it possibly cost us $6,000 extra dollars? You know, but is it well worth it to get some of it cleaned up?
We'll see if it is well worth it or not.
Well, and you can decide, yeah, if you're not getting a very good, we don't have to say it's going to be we'll put something in the flyer that, you know, this month on this date,
It's on a trial basis.
you know, you're gonna have curbside
Mhm.
and coming, you know, or whatever.
And I mean, if we do the curbside, we've had it for years. People know what they can and can't do. I'm sure you still have the people that don't, but for the most part, most people know, you know, it's in the flyer, what you can and can't put on the curb.
And at one time, there was people that took cement blocks and piled out there for the curbside. No, them have to go up, you have to take responsibility and take them up to the roll off.
Yeah, that's stupid.
You know, but, you know what'll happen?
Oh, yeah.
People try and you can't fix that. They're just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
Is what it is, but
And again, I guess, well, that could be a different 30 days away though. Yeah.
Township has the once a month for
Yeah.
guys like me.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, Mr. Barnard is on that council. Township Council Board. We had to sign our name on a clipboard when we dropped it because people were sneaking and just
Yep.
coming there with the
Mhm.
tractor
Yeah.
all around the place. And then he had trouble with people, it's supposed to be household garbage, like
Yeah,
trash and whatnot, and people were bringing like
anybody that owned.
stock and,
well, anybody
fit in a
that
black
owned
garbage
apartment
bag.
Apartments brought all their stuff.
yeah,
I lived in Lyra, they did that.
Mhm.
yeah, I'm in Lyra,
But you know what? There could be sheetrock laying out in the yard.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
well, we got another month or two before we need to make
Yeah.
plans and.
I said, I think think about it now. I'll talk to Jesse again and get some more information on doing that.
so if you did something on June, August, October, July, September, November, 3 of each, they got plenty of time to clean up their junk.
You probably want to start in April though.
Would you start that? I was trying to
in
think of,
April.
I almost started May and then I.
Get it in April before the grass gets long in the lawn so you can find it all.
All right, let's go May.
You know,
That's 7 months.
Oh, okay, I was doing 3 of each, but
okay, we can move on to ordinances and the nuisance. It's kind of like the same thing, you know, it's hard to enforce and. But
Kennedy did have some ideas, good ideas on these letters. But that's also, I think, changing the ordinance and I think we need to, just have a special meeting to hash out some of these ordinances.
I guess in that one there where the individual would come up here and file a complaint, right?
Mhm.
And then the city staff would have to do it. The council as a whole cannot have, take part in it.
Nope.
Well, we know we have that one house that we had a complaint on that has rodents,
Mm-hmm.
which is squirrel to rodent
Yep.
crawling in and out of the eaves. So you about imagine what the walls of the house are.
Mhm.
This would probably help a lot with
Mhm.
something
It
like
does
that.
say- Yeah, it does.
mhm.
How would it work with the house that's just this long stone throw away that's sat with insulation board over it now for 2
Same
years?
process.
Same, it's got.
They get
holes
the
and-
letter, you know, and
Same
then,
process?
yep, it would be the same, and the same process. Yep.
Yeah, cause I think that one has holes and stuff.
It
too.
says there's an issue and they can bring it up, or yeah, it'll go to. And this way it sets the date for them to come to council to state their case or what their plan of action is or whatever.
Or rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah, we drove by now for the last month, the window's open.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
That's been open
since-
for over a year.
Really, it has been?
Yeah.
I didn't.
And the
I'm
tree
just-
growing up there on the top of the
Yeah,
roof.
yeah. I just noticed the window.
So, I mean. Probably have to have some extra meetings to.
I think we need
With
to,
this?
because we got the cannabis one too, and there's a couple different, and then we can do the. Because with the ordinances, you have to post it in the public meetings and things like that, so let's just. Get them all together and do it all at once.
Yep. Would we do it? Like the council meeting night, just come in earlier? Or have it another night because it could last maybe 3 or 4 hours that night or?
I think we're all available to come in earlier.
Hmm?
I think that all of the council's available to come in earlier.
I'd rather do.
I like it that way because then you have that night.
Yeah, it's
You
done.
gotta be here anyway.
Instead of a double night, yeah. Or a
You have to
double.
make a decision, you can't just table it.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
I think we should, anytime we need to do it, we just come in on the regular council meeting night. An hour and a half early, whatever
I
it
can be
takes
here
to
at 5:30, no problem.
do it. Because everybody's gotta come that night anyway.
Mhm.
Right.
Otherwise, gotta coordinate, oh, she's gonna be gone, he's gonna be gone.
So do you want
No.
to set that or do you wanna,
Yeah, let's do that.
you wanna set it?
February tenth, or what? Is that the next meeting?
Oh, yeah, February 10th is the next meeting.
Take an hour and a half or take an
Five-
hour,
5 or
I would say I would give you at least an hour and a half,
5:30,
at least.
to go over the ordinances
Yep,
and then,
yep.
um,
Review them and decide what you wanna, you know, what each person wants to change, and if nobody does, then we're good with it, and then we
Pick
can
his
just. move on.
priority.
Yep,
Okay, February 10th. 5:30.
we need a motion for that then?
I would say,
Somebody want to make a motion to have that
calling that a code.
review of the ordinances? February 10th at 5:30?
I'll make a motion to meet February 10th to make a, what is it?
ordinance,
Code and
Ordinance,
ordinance
code and
meeting.
ordinance meeting.
Amy made a motion, someone a second?
I'll second it.
Jim second, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye, opposed, motion carried. Okay. Increase in property taxes.
so that was just, Maureen was at the last.
Yep.
And so she had sent an email, and I put it in your packets. She had sent an email to the county and got a response, which I didn't understand it, and so I sent it on to Tom. And then Tom broke it down. And that's what's in your, meeting notes.
Yeah, but. Noreen, her question was, why did the city's portion go up?
Correct.
We're not spending anything
No, it went up because if you look at,
because of the value of the houses.
because of the value of the houses and, or the value of the businesses, some went down, some went up, and they had to.
They gotta figure out.
They have
how
to figure out, because they
come up
have
with
to
the
be
same
within
amount of
90
money.
to 105% of the actual value. And if some were lower than the other ones, they had to come up with money somehow.
I really don't understand that, how that can raise our taxes. When we voted not to raise them because of our spending.
Because I'm assuming some
Yeah.
of our city taxes go to the county.
based on values, yeah.
Our city tax, like you said. They gotta come up with the money somewhere to
And
function
some
on
of
the
our city
county.
taxes, I'm under the impression that goes to the county.
What they're saying is if a house sells for more than what they're being taxed at, they feel they're being,
Or if it's being
Shorted
sold
or-
less, yeah. 'cause-
yeah, or less,
Yep.
yeah.
So you gotta come up with that extra money.
Mhm.
All these houses weren't listed there. Were they
Some
all
of
in
them-
Good Thunder?
No, they weren't. Some were in Lake Crystal. Tom had it all broken down. I didn't put that in there.
But if we would have raised our taxes 7%,
Would have been over and above that.
that would have been over and above that.
Correct.
Mhm.
I just don't see how they can put that on the value, based on the value of sales of houses.
Yeah. it's not-
When it's supposed to be, you're setting a levy for your spending for the year.
Mhm.
Some sale houses shouldn't raise it on the city's portion.
No,
It just shouldn't be that way.
It's infuriating. It's. I don't know. Cause if house values go down.
Yeah.
Taxes don't go down.
Well, they
They
do.
just go up more.
Very slow,
Yeah.
they go down slower, they never go
I mean, we've done this 2 years in a row now.
up, yeah.
Mhm.
And being conservative, obviously, doesn't even matter anymore.
Well, it's a good thing you are, because if you
You are.
weren't, think of what the taxes would be.
People be screaming.
Yeah, I know, but you know, you can only go at zero for so long and then you're gonna have to keep up with the cost of this and the cost of that, you know. We did this 20-some years ago one time and, you know, it kind of bites you a little later because you lost out on, say, a 3% raise and you only spent 1.5% of it during the year, so you put a little more money in your coffers over here, but you go 2 years now, but still.
But like Tom said, you're better off offsetting it by raising like the water contingency or something, because you're getting more that way than you are with that 3% or whatever
It's staying in town.
increase. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
Actually
guess
going
it's
somewhere.
something we'll never figure out. In small
Yeah.
town Good Thunder.
Taxation of government, yeah.
Yep. Okay, remodel City Hall. You know, we talked about making that space available there. Let's get that wall pushed back, open this all up.
Mhm.
Did you check? Did we just have to get a couple contractors in, get two bids?
I never got there,
Okay. Well, let's try to just do that.
but let me, yeah, we can try to get, do you want Brian to find? To get a couple? Or, so that's another thing. Do we want Brian to do those types of things, or are we gonna have one of the council kind of step into that part of it?
I don't know. Brian, got any
Well,
input?
didn't you have, Vernon Center guy already come over?
He just gave an estimate of
Yeah.
Of the materials,
Oh,
yeah.
not construction.
How about if we just give the clerk a couple names, and call them,
Okay,
you call them and just say,
Okay.
hey, come up and see what.
I'm gonna look at it.
sure.
Okay. All right, got that taken care of. Dakota Mart. Dave?
So the update on Dakota Mart is they were sent the disclosure. Order for disclosure. Find it.
is it in our packets?
Yeah, I think I read something.
Request for an order for disclosure and the proposed orders were filed. So basically, it's, if they do not respond to it, it will go on the docket for a court hearing to find it, to then force them
Maybe not.
to
I don't, but maybe.
deal with it. Force them to fill out the paperwork.
One the deadline,
What's that?
the deadline, but
I
respond.
think it was like mid-February, I believe.
But you as a clerk, you hear nothing from other entities that have their name on there already?
I have not heard,
Uh,
no. This had to be, they had to do it in 30 days. So their 30 days is about up.
So would you ever take and contact those and see how they're progressing or?
Well, you can find it all on Mincourts.
Wow,
Yeah, just all on Mincourts.
all right.
So it looks like the matter will be set for a review hearing the beginning of February if they do not comply.
All right. Well, at least we're taking steps to try to recoup some of this cost.
Mhm.
Good enough on the Dakota Mart for everybody?
Yep.
All right, new business. 2025 council committees.
Oh, I just saw the 2024.
Yeah, what I put in your packet was what the current ones are worth for 24. So you guys can figure out what you want to do.
Cross Tom's name off.
John, he made it, that he would like to stay on, personnel committee. Anybody with some hiring backgrounds or, how should I say it, background in, hiring process or anything, I mean, or management, there, I guess, maybe management skills.
You don't want to be on it?
No, I after what I heard about this last time, no, let's, Jim,
I would work with that.
okay, how about Jim and, John?
Perfect.
Good choice.
How about, start from the top, I can't find my name, he's got hers here, water and sewer and garbage.
Sewer garbage. I don't know. Oh. I guess we can,
Stay the same?
yeah,
Okay, streets, sidewalks, alleys, myself and Scott, I like that one.
Do you like that one?
You like that, Scott?
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Recreations and Parks, it was Tom Frederick and John Rudy. Somebody want to take over Recreations and Parks?
I can do that.
Jim will do that.
Tom's spot, I guess.
All right, Personnel Committee, which are we still gonna have
John.
that?
We still
John?
need 2 people, yes.
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah,
yeah.
John.
Excuse me, yeah.
Jim,
Yeah.
Jim and John.
That's fine.
All right, Administrative was Tom and John.
John probably wants that too, don't he?
Okay, what does the administrative committee do?
helps her out.
It's, yeah, I mean, I really don't know, but they kind of oversee all of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you want it to be the same as the personnel committee.
That's okay.
Kind of seems like
Well,
the same.
there was
Yes.
a reason
It's the
why we
same,
left
but-
it administrative one time. Who brought up that reason why it was left under administrative?
Mm,
Um. um, Was it something to do with? Maybe John would have remembered.
maybe it was because your personnel committee was a whole, so then the administrative committee was just two.
Yeah, but administrative committee, I think is more like in the office. You know,
Mhm.
where if there's some technical stuff that Sue needs help on or issues,
Mhm.
the person she can call there to have help out.
John would be good with that then. 'cause
Yes, he
kinda
would, yeah.
Understands. And is kind of your.
He's the one I
helper
go
fill
to,
in,
yeah, yep,
If
yep.
it needs two, I can be on there for a backup for John, but not that I'll be able to.
All right. Now, Scott, you'd probably be acting mayor again, right?
Scott or John, wouldn't
Scott or John, yeah, what, you were both got on the same time, yeah. How do you decide that then?
Whoever wants it, or
whoever, I mean,
It's gonna be hard with John not here.
yeah, we should probably wait till John's here to see if he, unless Scott
well, we
wants
have to have an acting one interim
Oh,
till February at least.
I'll do it.
I mean, unless Scott doesn't necessarily want it, then he can do an interim until John gets here. If we can set it, change it then in February. But whatever,
You said you do it for now, just
I'll
Scott?
do it.
Okay,
for now or for the next year, for this year.
Well, if John don't want, I'll do it.
Okay, all right.
fire chief stays the same. And paper stays the same, bank. Stays the same, posting places all stays the same. Everything is good with everybody then?
mm-hmm.
All right, somebody make a motion to those changes being made then?
I'll make a motion to the 2025 council committee changes.
All right, someone to second,
I'll second.
all in favor, say aye, opposed, motion carries. Official postings and that, would that fall under the same one or two, or did we make another?
Official postings, no, because we did it all, it's all on the same page.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay, on the back sheet there is something about bill approval between meetings. I think we've been doing that, right?
Yep, we just need to redo it every year.
All right, somebody makes,
It's like 35, is it 3,500? Or is it 3,000 meetings?
how many are falling into that?
There's not a lot.
But once in a while there
Once
can
in
be.
a while, and it just depends on where our meetings fall.
Yep.
So I would, either one, 3,000 or 3,500 will cover it.
All right.
It's never been an issue, so.
Put it at 3,500. Somebody make a motion then to approve that between meetings at 3,500.
I'll make a motion.
Scott made the motion. Someone a second.
A second.
Amy did. All in favor? I
Aye.
opposed. She carried. Strategic planning, some things we need to look at, work out. We did really good this past summer by putting a generator down the lagoon.
That's amazing.
And we got our treatment down the lagoon and we got our gate down to the lagoon.
Thank you.
We spent quite a little money to upgrade that, so that,
The gate's been working good.
Oh my, this is such a godsend. You
Yeah.
know, and now I've been coming there in the morning before I come and do the street stuff and to go there in the dark and hit the button and have the gate open up without fumbling around in the cold for keys and.
I bet that is.
But the main reason we got it, and the other reason we got it was so that when we call for a load of propane for the generator, or we call for a load of chemicals for the phosphate addition, service on our pump stations, all that now. We can text them the code to get in. They can get in and do their job without anybody having to be down there, so that's really nice.
Mhm.
and we do with our strategic planning, we still want to have an enclosure down there, don't we?
Yeah, I think there's actually some kind of requirement to have at least a chemical tank,
Yep,
at least a roof.
so
Whatever you want to do above and beyond that.
that needs to be our priority to get a building down there this summer, cover that and, the other thing I brought up to Sue is the cement out here in front is getting on condition, you know, we have individuals coming into this building and out. We gotta be careful that people don't trip fall because the cement is getting a little misaligned.
Mhm.
Do we it'll be a few months before you do anything, but do we go out, and get some bids for somebody to replace all of it, part of it? Anybody got any suggestions?
Somebody, what about, could somebody come and, you know, Thursday,
Yeah.
like, what is
Raise
that?
it.
Checking.
Mud jacket?
Mud jacket, yeah, I think, but the cracks are getting pretty, I don't know, they're getting pretty big. It's been here since the sixties. This was
65.
built.
Back when concrete was good.
Remember when it was built, Scott?
I think it was 65.
65, yeah. So it's really done its duty. But somebody informed me there's a lot of iron on it.
Probably.
So it could be a
Jackhammer and
heck of a tear out job.
Mhm.
But I mean, do we over the next few months seek out somebody? And I mean, cement is very high priced right now, but I don't think it's gonna go down either.
No, it's not. gonna go down.
Seek out
It
some.
might as well. Now it's
some
people
bids
have
and-
time to come and do bids rather than wait for the spring and you're
Yep.
gonna be behind the 8 ball.
So I guess maybe we can, people know somebody into the Mason, tell them, hey, this is what the city's doing. Get a few bids around and,
Mhm.
all right. Anything else then? John brought up, I know that one time there, which is a very good idea, you know. It's sad to see that we have a nice warming hall or a concession stand down there, but there's nothing down there no more, nothing. So do we take and go with a pickleball court? Do we take and put a new, is a pickleball court and tennis court same thing or?
No,
They're in it,
well, they could be interchangeable.
They can be interchanged, yeah.
It's a
what I
different,
It's
mean
just the height, the net height.
yeah, and the size of the.
is,
They're usually not as deep.
would we have one that serves both purposes? I see Amboy's got one nice fenced in, you know, do we take some parks money, which I think we have quite a little money in, do we, it's a nice area.
It is.
Is
A
there
lot
any
of this-
involvement? Do we have to send it out with the water bills, which will be going out monthly here, a survey?
Mm-hmm.
Do you,
That'd be a good idea.
That might not be a bad idea.
what do you want to see done with the ballpark?
I know the problem we had talked about before was location, but we do, like you said, we have the nice concession stand, so.
But if they
about-
do that retaining or that holding pond down there, if we get that bonding, how is that gonna affect all that area down there?
That would only be right where the skating rink is. Oh,
Basketball courts are?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
That's on the other side. yeah.
because the gentleman from the Pheasants Forever was here.
I was just gonna ask,
And he was asking about that and about redoing it or what, you know, this council had decided on.
we need to let them guys just go ahead and,
Well, and then we were talking about the bonding and he said, well, if it's gonna be right there, is that going to affect anything? I don't know how much of that is going to affect.
I wonder how big it has to be.
Cause when I showed him the plans, he goes, oh yeah, that might not work then.
So, you know, in
So-
reality, you could move where the playground equipment is and put it along the whole eastern edge and utilize that ball field infield and place your,
Pickleball stuff up
No.
there.
But do you want it next to a holding pond? I don't know. Do you? Does it matter? Is it gonna be any,
I think you might have to maybe.
or is it going to be a bigger draw up here? But then we don't own the city doesn't own the land.
We don't own that one, you know?
So,
Well, that's what we talked about before, but maybe down there, if they get the school apartments going or whatever, you know,
Mhm.
then you're gonna have more people around there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
But otherwise here, you know, I think all it would take would be just getting permission, because they probably wouldn't mind.
Cause we just renewed that lease, right?
correct.
Neil.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, we've put stuff there before and, you know, someday, I take it if the church ever closed, the city would have the option to take the park part of it.
Would want to.
Yeah, so I don't know,
Because they would probably, anything that would upgrade that, which that would be an upgrade over there, and it'd be less mowing.
we got a lot of park equipment down by the lagoon too that hasn't ever gotten up yet.
Oh, yeah.
Can I just say it? That might need a dumpster.
Pardon?
That might just need a dumpster.
Why?
Cause I don't know if it's, how long has it been sitting there?
Nobody wants to put it up.
Well, that's a
Well,
big
in the liability to put it up.
I
You
think
just
that's-
can't have, we've had this conversation before.
I think I've heard that conversation.
You just
before.
can't have
Anybody.
the
any-
neighbor welder doing it. You've gotta have certificate, I mean, just because of the liability issue.
The most it could ever do is crack. It's not like it's gonna go,
Yeah.
I mean,
I just,
volunteers put this one up over here. Put the cement in, put it all in. That's the only way small towns get anything done.
okay, but was that a new one?
That was new.
Thank you.
But
That one's,
again,
that one needs welded. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Where'd that come from?
we got it free from, it came from Mankato originally. The same guy that's Chambers, that's doing the sewer down here, got it, and, Jim Prom knew it was out there. I went and hauled it home. And, it's been down there since. But,
It's 10+ years, hasn't it?
That'd be something to
At
look
least
into.
10 years, hasn't it?
oh, I don't think so, no.
Oh,
it's been in-
It's been a long time.
It's been there since before I moved here.
Yeah, I'd say it's, well, you might be close, Scott, it could be 8,
What's always been the holdup? Oh,
well, to get people to do it.
It needs to be, it needs to have the,
See,
It needs to have
they
about
went-
4 feet welded on each post because.
They
it's
went and
covered
just
up.
cut it off at the ground.
And like I say,
so it just keeps getting tabled for 10 years because
so maybe that's something the Parks and Recreation Committee, I mean, we've got these committees, maybe that's something we start using the committees for.
that's,
They meet, they can go over it, they can assess it, they can do all that and bring it to council.
Go down and look at it.
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
One thing
All
that,
you gotta do is find a certified.
Robert, you mentioned, the concrete out front here and, when you drive down to the bird file now, it's mountain after mountain of debris and concrete and
well,
turning into a nightmare down there.
There's supposed-
People are coming and dumping more concrete.
I know some people wanted that concrete,
Yeah.
but they haven't taken the initiative to load it up and take it away. But I'll talk to 1 or 2 of them and see if they still want it, because they have to come and get it and haul it down, but they make good money on it, on the process part of it. So hopefully we can get somebody to clean it up. Yeah, I know,
It's
it's,
looking bad down there.
yeah. Wouldn't be bad if they put it all in the same pile, but oh, God, no.
spread all over the place.
Well, and I guess if you see piles and you're down there with a tractor, Brian, you
Try and push them up,
put them all in one area.
try it.
Yeah. All right, anything else under the pump house, this bonding thing, have we ever heard any more?
It is ready to go to the floor, whatever you wanna call it,
Again.
and I guess it kind of did make it the last time, but it wasn't, we all knew it wasn't gonna pass last time.
Yeah.
Because we knew he told us it would be the 25 session that there was a chance of it,
But I think
so.
there's less money now than there was a year ago up there.
But they didn't do anything with it last year, so they
Just sitting
say
there.
that there's a better chance of more going this year because they didn't do one last year. And my understanding is if we get it, we could be ready to go with this project in 26.
Let's see that, and if we don't get it, we bought that property to put a well in. And we need to take the initiative to put a well in, right, Brian? Even if we don't get that, because we really,
Yeah, our backup well's pretty shady.
our backup well is pretty shady. And
Shaky.
I got to think
It's
of
weak.
one,
It only puts out 60 or 80 gallons a minute and in the event of that our big well would go down, because our big well's 350 gallons a minute,
yeah,
380, something like that.
yeah.
We could potentially have the city running short on water pressure, it'd be varying and everything if we had to rely on that old well, so.
And I was thinking about this one time, we had that new line to feed that water hydrant.
Mhm.
What would happen if we just hooked into that water hydrant and just had raw water at that hydrant? And that to feed it back to the treatment plant?
I can't even comment on that because I have no expertise in.
Yeah, I didn't know if we
what
could,
Engineering is allowed.
if we could run raw water out of a fire hydrant for that purpose.
Well, the hydrant's connected to the main and the mains are looped, so is that one?
That's right, it is, it's hooked on out here. Yep, okay.
So that's probably not gonna work.
Yeah, you'll be sending,
That's where we get into troubles when we start self-engineering.
Yep.
We need to really rely on the experts.
But we need to keep that in mind if this doesn't go through the state, because
Right.
how long can we
Yeah,
get by with our little well at it, what, 80 gallons a minute or 60?
yeah, it's.
It's not much,
No.
so,
Your ones on the end of the lines would really be.
and we bought that lot down there with the intent. You know, and it meets the setbacks. So, you know, to pump a new well in the ground. So. To me, that's the big items to plan for. The cement. and
Well, and
the-
they were, yeah, you guys made that list when we were doing the, in fact, Jim's got it right in front of him.
Oh, yeah.
So. I don't know if that's something you guys want to set a meeting at some point, you can deal with that next month.
anything back.
The easements,
Yeah,
and I call and email her weekly,
so,
the gas company. And I still have not, now I'm getting nothing. So,
Really.
yep, I don't know what's going on, but I gave it to, is it Paylors? So there, I gave it to them, and I haven't heard anything from them either. So they was at their attorney last time I talked to them. So next time I stop in there, I will ask.
for them,
to.
that's a big benefit.
Right, and that's what they were kind of, I mean, they knew that, so I think it was just at their attorney just to double check everything.
What's it?
The easement to finish the backyard sewer project down there, Holiday,
Behind the locker and that.
to
Okay,
connect them because there's some
Gene Klein.
There's private lines running,
lines back there.
private lines running across private property. And now that we wanted to continue it another, what, 150 feet, 200 feet.
Mhm.
And then the locker would have a new one, Jerry would have a new one, and Gene Kleino would all go into a manhole or however they want to do
Yeah,
it.
best of all, the locker be on their own manhole so that we can monitor
Yeah,
what they're putting out.
the intake.
yeah, oh yeah, are we gonna seal coat this year? I mean, Sue, what kind of money do we have in roads, streets and highways, roads?
I don't have any of my, you guys have all the numbers there, don't you?
I know it, but it's easier to ask you.
That's
Not
why
tonight.
Amy, you drive this road out on. Seems like that dip right at this, going towards your house, if you're coming this way, that.
Yeah, out here,
That dip seems like it's getting deeper. I
Well,
just
no.
drove on it tonight and you just,
the whole thing is sunk down on the
Yeah.
west side here with the
Yep.
added blacktop. That all needs to be fixed because we're not even getting water in the gutter anymore. You know, so that'll have to be a mill out, put a little
you,
bit of blacktop
you
in.
stop at the stop sign from the south and come this way, it's,
Yeah.
you probably noticed,
Mhm.
you're probably used
There's a
to it.
lot of.
I'm used to it, but it has gotten worse.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Did anybody remember what that one bid was for seal coating there? What we had, it was almost $100,000.
Yeah, it was right around there. Well, that was what you guys had,
Weren't we gonna
you
lock
guys had
in?
already, you guys were locked into that. Seal
Yes.
Coating,
Yes, you were.
That's right.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I saw something at the city shop that it's a bid from, is it?
Pearson,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pearson.
Cause I was gonna say. I
They're
did
gonna give it-
too.
There's-
I think if I remember right, they're gonna give it to us for the same price.
Right,
that's right. Yeah,
Otherwise, they were gonna, if we waited, it was gonna
Yep.
go up,
cause yeah, you guys signed
what,
that.
10%?
Well,
I like this sheet here.
yeah, this is nice. But like Sue had said, some of these are like committees. Maybe the committee people, if you could break these down into committee, maybe they could have a meeting about some of the stuff.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, this was just something that, actually, John is the one that started the one from last year.
Okay.
And then I just kind of built onto it from this year.
Mhm.
But yeah, I could definitely break it down into the committee and email it to the correct people if you want.
When we asked for, I don't know if the same people would be interested, but we asked for cost for this, would we also ask them to give a cost for insulating at the cold side of the city shop and tinting it white?
You
They're
could,
here, why not?
yeah.
I guess, see if they're interested.
Also, when you have this city hall opened up or whatever, can we put new carpeting in the office? Cause the seam was right in the center, it's frayed and all
Yeah,
over.
the seam is, it needs to be replaced. I think this has been done once since it was originally done.
Yeah, cause it's not the same as that stuff in there.
This was been done because didn't them oil stains from the fire truck come up through here once? I believe is, yeah, it just come right up to the carpet.
Hmm.
So we've had this done, and
Somebody
that's why
thought
it's different
somebody
there.
spilled something in there.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
came the
so-
other way.
Yeah. Wow. Where do we go to get carpet? Anybody know?
There's a couple places in
Couple
Mankato.
Yeah,
Rickway and
Rickway.
MC.
Do they lay it though?
Is that Resner still? Or
Never heard of that
Reeser?
one.
Oh,
That Jim Reeser and his kid?
Kleino,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Randy Klein.
Right.
Randy Kleino does- Yep,
Yeah.
he does it too. So when you get to that point, those are options that we can,
when we get down to the flooring.
yep.
doesn't hurt to get, yeah.
Oh, do you go to town very often, do for business? If you stop at Rick Wade and find a commercial kind of grade of,
I mean, I have a COG meeting on Wednesday, so I can
Yeah.
stop at Rickway.
stop at Rick Wade and see what
Pick
you
out
got.
something that would,
Maybe you'd wanna get a quick,
The new
Measurement?
thing is they got 2x2 pads.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18,
Will you
20.
come in to sign checks tomorrow? Will
26.
you do that for me?
Yes, dear, I can do that.
we gotta keep that office.
The new commercial thing is they got the 2x2 squares.
Yeah,
And if one gets damaged, you just
just rip it
Oh,
out.
put it
Yeah.
down.
Yep.
It costs a little more upfront, but the wear and tear,
Ain't a bad idea. Yeah.
you can price it. And
So the seal coating will be done in 2025. Chances are we're gonna try to do this in 2025. All we can do is take costs for,
We'll have to, yeah, we'll
Cement.
get some of the costs and then you guys can prioritize what you want to do when and where.
city sign. Is that for each side of town or just one side, was it, or?
That was, I don't remember who said that,
Um,
who talked about the sign, but the sign out there is getting kind of,
yeah,
and we
If
only have the
anything,
one
get
sign.
some lights on it. that-
we talked about putting another sign on John's lawn. That's what it was,
Yeah,
right
yep,
on the corner,
yep.
and a stone one, was it?
A nicer one.
And I think it
Yeah.
should be two of them.
Mm-hmm. We should put one on each end of town.
Yeah. So anybody know anybody that does that? I mean, Jerry Burr used to do that. I don't know if he does that at all anymore or not. But I could ask Annette. See if, you see her tomorrow night, Scott?
He does, huh?
You have a meeting tomorrow
Next
night?
week.
Huh?
Next week.
Yeah.
I could call her.
Ask her if he'd ever
We can talk-
consider, I don't, maybe don't have his stuff anymore. I have no idea.
You probably know where to direct you though.
we can
Yeah.
Talk to the people at Better Stone.
Soda Stone has a bunch of vendors that they use.
Oh, they do.
Yep.
I ref.
Wells Concrete made that one we got on the fire station.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that, yeah.
Yeah,
Bell tower
They basically donated it or,
for the station.
yeah, because they put the building up,
Yeah.
it's advertising for them.
Yeah.
Bell Tower Park renovation, that was just to take out the hedge around there and put some lattice, right? Pretty much.
That, and then you guys talked about having the veterans, doing some sort of a veterans memorial. park
Yeah,
there.
doing a better
Yep,
thing for them.
yep.
I checked that out when I was shoveling there the other day. And them handrails are all wobbly and
Oh, I
there's some
know it.
holes.
That whole thing needs to be redone.
It's pretty bad.
It needs to have some work done again.
TLC to that.
That's why, yeah, if these were broke down into committees, then
Mhm.
not just one person.
Well, I can go through them and see where we can break them down. A lot of them's gonna fall into the recreation and parks.
Yeah,
Who's that?
It's not you, so you find out.
Yeah, that's fine then.
Yeah,
Jim and John.
Jim and John.
In the streets and sidewalks and yeah,
okay, well. We've got a few months before it's spring, but you don't always wanna wait.
Don't we want to put that chemical shed on this list? I don't see it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Enclosure at Lagoon, yeah.
yeah, that would be number one probably, if we want that.
Like Brian said, it's supposed to at least get it,
To get it within code or, yeah.
get a roof on it.
I'll add it on there. And that'll just be in your packets every month, so you guys can kind of figure out where we're at and what you want to do or whatever.
Setting up under strategic planning,
Mhm.
okay, 4M funds, just an update.
So the 300,000 that was in LPL, Cause that one didn't term until December 31st.
Yep.
That one has termed and is now over in 4M. So one of the sheets that I set out for tonight for the meeting when you came in are some of the options you have
There you go.
if you want to reinvest that money.
And how long is it?
You have options. Some of them are like, there's one for July 14th. There's one for October and then there's one for a year.
Okay.
So
I think we should reinvest them, but I think it should be probably some. How much was the dollar amount?
there was 300,
312?
I think so. This
It's right here
is
in the
really hard to
bottom.
see.
312 with the whole,
Yeah, 312,893.
That's for the 365.
Yep.
And if you only do 270 days, it's 309. Do
Oh.
182 days, it's 306.
You're gaining 6,000 if
Oh,
you
yeah.
put it in for a year.
Yeah,
So these are the same things that I got this morning, basically, that he gave me last week.
CDs at
She
the
was
bank,
thinking.
if you do the short term, the interest rate is higher than the long term. Cause they're hoping that the interest rate goes up.
what kind of money do you have in the general fund right now? Cause have you gotten, I think I seen that on the revenues that she got the money from the county and,
Mhm.
yeah,
I saw that too.
LGA.
that was on one of these.
Just the general fund is 247, but that does not count all of our other your investments.
So did you get the last part of the taxes from Lewis
Yes,
County?
yes, that was
260 some thousand, was it?
102,533. That came the end of December. That was the other half.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then there was it LGA or what's the other one?
that is the LGA.
Okay, and then Blue Earth County though, then, that was a higher number, right?
That one we probably already got done.
Yeah, I can't remember. When you get that. You can never find it.
Yeah,
When you're at home, you can find it right away. Gotta find the revenue.
Well, Blue Earth County was 168,000. That
And
was on December 3rd. We got that.
you got both of them.
Yes.
So you've gotten both of them and you're still right
The
now?
cash balance is 569,
Oh, okay.
but you said general fund.
I'm in
separate.
cash vat. I'm sorry.
Okay, so 569.
So see, we have $500,000 sitting there, you know. Do we need to worry about these investments? Do we need to put them on short term or do we do a year? Obviously, we have $500,000 to go on here.
Yeah, I think Tom said Tom said having the cash ready right now would be maybe the better option, just.
And maybe we should just wait until John's back next month too to
Mhm.
address that.
Well, yeah, 'cause right now it's just sitting in the ready available.
Yeah.
So if we were to need it, it would just be transfer right to our US Bank.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
Cause I
'cause if
think
you,
with one of these, with one of these things, you had to show the cash, like not being invested in something, but it had to be cash ready or something.
that was with the bonding.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
so I think that's why we had discussed not investing it, but I don't know, yeah, someone.
well, you'd have to do the 182 days or you'd have to go to the 365. It makes no sense to take it and have it mature at October 10th. You don't have any time to use it before winter. If you're doing it for projects or
Right.
whatever, and you're gonna make $6,000 more if you leave it in for the whole year. Or no, 4,000 more.
And come in, so you just got October's and December, so we gotta pay in May, is it? So you'd probably get that in July.
Yeah.
So in July, you'd be getting those two again.
Mm-hmm.
So we have nothing big to pay for from now until
Yeah.
then,
July, so it makes sense to do it till July.
probably.
Like Scott said, if the lower amounts are coming up and hopefully gonna increase,
Mm-hmm.
we might be at a better,
Well, we can leave it there and see what it does. I can get the same information next month too.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
All right. Excel franchise agreement,
That was another thing that was sitting on your desk, or sitting on your table. The franchise agreement for Excel Energy is the exact same as the one we had before, and it's up March 3rd, I think it is, or March 5th.
How often does this get renewed? It isn't yearly, I don't.
Gosh, like 30? The last one was in, I've got it here. 2005,
Oh, wow,
so it must be 20 years.
20 years,
Yep.
okay. Well, there's no reason not to.
Well, right, and we're not, this is where we had talked about doing franchise fees, because we are getting those with Consolidated. If we wanted to do that with Excel, then it'd be a whole different process, but if you just want to renew the ordinance, all we do have to do is just make the motion to renew the ordinance, and then I just. need to
Consolidated
sign.
probably went away.
Somebody want to make a motion just to renew this Excel franchise agreement? And I suppose it'll be for another 20 years, right?
Yes, correct.
Anybody find any reason why not to? I mean, it doesn't say anything in here about um solar sunlight. Anything different, does it?
No, not that I could find.
Okay, I'll make a motion to renew the Excel franchise agreement.
Amy made a motion to renew the agreement, someone second?
Just the new.
It says the Northern States Power.
Yeah.
Huh,
Oh, it's, should be Excel.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one she gave me. Huh,
Wow,
I will, we'll have to get the updated one.
yeah,
Take that motion off.
Got a branch that's still Northern States Power. That's what it used to be.
Because this is the exact, yeah, this is the old, that's exactly what it says on the old one too.
okay,
There.
Doing business as Excel Energy
yep,
is what it says. Northern States Power Company, Minnesota Corporation doing business as Excel Energy. Its successors and assigns.
Yeah, that's fine.
So then it's fine. Yeah.
Oh, so it is, on yours it says states that?
Isn't that what it says on the new, I'm reading the old one.
Oh, yeah, that is-
under 1.4? front page?
1.4,
Yes.
That's not on here.
Oh, it's not on that one.
No, it just says Minnesota Corporation under Northern States Power Company.
Yeah,
Really? Okay, I will
It's
mention that.
Successor as a son and assigns,
Really? Okay, well,
right there.
interesting. You are right.
Well, Amy made a motion, we can make a contingent that we
Right.
contingent on the point
Yep.
of it being.
changed
Excel
over
Energy.
and the correct wording.
Yep.
Okay, with that, then somebody want to make a, or second the motion?
Yeah, we can, I'll second that.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye opposed, motion carried. All right, employee health insurance going up or,
Well, it has gone up, but a couple months ago, council asked if I would check into other insurance, because there's that public employees insurance program. So I checked into that one and I got some information, but the single coverage is, they quoted it, it's just for me because with Grace being gone, is $1,566.90 for the high coverage and $1,000 with the HSA plan. And it's all tiered, you have to have a primary care coordinator. And around here, Mayo is a level 4, which is the highest. And Mankato Clinic is a level 3, so it's, my opinion, it's gonna be a lot more, it doesn't pay.
yeah,
And this doesn't have vision. Dental is an extra $42 a month. And right now our dental, I think, is $41 a month. And this one has a basic employee life, and we don't have life insurance here, correct?
no, I don't believe so. Most workman's comp policies, which you would fall under and the city work, they usually come with a smaller life insurance policy.
Okay,
I don't know if,
see,
I know
don't
mine
if-
does.
If the city has, because normally it's like equal to like 1 year, one times your salary, or however. But I don't think the city has one. Either way, when I did the reviewing on this, to me, it seems like it's way higher for what you're getting.
What is it now?
Right now, for myself, it was, I just paid it today too. Is it $1,100 a month? And that's medical, dental and vision.
And that's what.
And this
15?
is 15 for the high coverage. And then it's another 42, so it's like 1,600.
So it's actually less benefits with this.
With
new-
more price.
Right, yeah, and it's a higher price tag. I think the coverage is probably a little better unless you went with the HSA plan. But if you've got to pick a primary care, everything has to go through that primary care, and I don't know if anybody's ever dealt with that, but it can be a real nightmare.
One thing that could make small towns compete if the League of Minnesota City ever gets a big
Get together.
pool,
Mhm.
so we could,
Mhm. Make it more
Well,
affordable.
That's
our
really what this
employees in
is. This is a big pool of
yeah,
public employees. But I think it's because, I don't know if it's because we're so small or my age or whatever, but it's like, wow.
yeah.
Get younger.
No, I don't want to go back there.
But who is this put through by the state?
Public Employee Insurance Program.
Yeah, so it'd be through the state kind of more than anything,
So-
right?
It's a PRA.
Yeah, it's a
PIP.
PRA, yeah.
EIP, yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
okay,
yep.
all
So
right,
I tried. Anyway,
all righty. Miscellaneous website, new website update.
so I've been working on getting our new website going. I've still got a lot of work to do on it. We have until I think May when our other one we have to pay again. So I'm working with that. The only issue that they're having right now is with the Zoom meetings right now on YouTube, they're not listed. So you go through our website to click on it to get into the meeting. Where they want to just put a link to the YouTube channel on the website. So then it would be opened up so that like it was before, where anybody could watch it. You didn't have to go through our website. And there hasn't been a whole lot of people watching it anymore anyway, maybe 10, 15 people a month. And 2 of them are probably me trying to get the minutes done, so
For a while, that was a big thing, but
I think it's kind of died off a little bit now.
Wouldn't it be better to have to go through our
Well,
page? to
it would,
keep stuff?
it would be, however, in order to do that then, because they have to be made public, I have to keep them all on the page.
No.
So if you go on our city webpage right now, you'll have maybe probably a year's worth of the YouTube videos on there if you go into the council meetings. And it just kind of gets really busy and it gets a lot of stuff where you kind of want to make it cleaner and easier to use. So that's what they were suggesting. And then we just, like I said, you can just you just have to type in, you could just click on the YouTube button and it'll bring you right to our channel. You could pick which one you want to watch.
So you still gotta go
No, you could just type it in. You could just type in
on
YouTube.
YouTube
You could just type in YouTube also.
and type in Get Thunder.
Right,
whatever.
yep. Otherwise, you could use the link on our website. The only difference is right now they're unlisted. They would be listed so that anybody and everybody could,
America just,
yep,
America
could find
could
it
see
just
it.
by Googling YouTube, Good Thunder, City of Good Thunder, yep,
really,
yep.
which
And
it is now, right?
No,
No.
that's how it used to be. And now you can't, now they're unlisted. So if you just typed in YouTube, you wouldn't find City of Good Thunder. You could find them, but you wouldn't find the recent ones.
Oh,
You
really?
would find the ones prior to when I started.
What do you think?
I mean, to me,
That's,
like I said, I think it's kind of died down. And if somebody wants to watch them that bad, they'll figure it out. I mean, there for a while, they were being posted on Facebook, so,
Yeah, we don't.
I mean, it is what it is. So. But because it was a motion before, need a motion to undo it.
Somebody want to make a motion to undo it?
make a motion to undo it.
Amy made it, someone second,
I guess I will second it.
all in favor? Say aye. Motion carried. Okay, MCFOA conference 18th to the 21st of March. And that's where?
That's in Brooklyn Center at the Earl Brown Heritage Center. So it's not in St. Cloud.
All right,
And I've got the room already and in the bills was the registration fee.
all right.
So I'll be gone I'll go Monday night or Monday afternoon and I'll be back Friday.
Somebody make a motion then to have Sue attend that meeting in March.
I will make that a motion for Sue to go to the conference on March 18th through the 21st.
Someone second?
Seconded.
Scott seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah,
opposed?
Coming up,
Motion
too.
carried. You
I
got
have
some
one
of
of those coming up this year,
Okay,
I think it's in March too,
all right.
I'll let you know.
You're gonna sit in for her and she'll sit on.
Yeah,
No.
not in the same place.
Okay, anything else then under miscellaneous, anybody?
Burkhart will be here on the 27th to do their field work. And they'll present the audit on the 14th.
Oh. April.
They stopped in on the 7th and picked up their samples and stuff,
All right,
so.
will we continue to have them do this twice a year yet for a
They
while?
didn't do it twice a year last year.
They
They didn't
didn't?
do it last fall, no. You guys talked about it, but nothing was ever committed. Nope.
So we went a year already?
Well, if I remember right, they said that made the comment, but looking really good, not any errors slash.
Yeah. Oh,
Minus
think
the
you
ones
guys-
that were progress,
Yeah, decided to let it go a year and depending on
What
how,
do they do?
they do an audit.
Oh, books?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
well, I guess
you remember those.
we'll see how it comes out
Yeah.
and hopefully things come out just grand and we'll do it that way. Nothing else under miscellaneous? Vikings football game?
I get crushed.
They're getting crushed.
23-3.
Stop,
23-3.
stop, I'm not listening.
Oh,
Somebody want to make a motion to adjourn then?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Someone the second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I oppose, motion carried. You need a copy of these too, right?